Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Well, I wanted to bring something up this week because I'm starting to see some stuff that I've seen around the state and around the country start to seep into our smaller area. And it's called an appraisal gap contingency. Here's basically what in essence it means, is if a property does not appraise, the buyer agrees upfront to cover the difference. So let's say we go under contract for $350,000 and the appraisal comes back and says the property's only worth $320,000. Well, the buyer up front agrees to pay the $30,000 difference. Now, why in the world would a buyer agree to that? Well, it's because of the market we're in right now. It's mainly a hyper sellers. We're going to go over our two counties. There are some small exceptions. There are some price points where it's not a hyper sellers. In both counties now, believe it or not. But as we sit here and I record this right now, it's mainly a hyper seller's market. So there's really not inventory problems. That's what we're having. So one way buyers are getting away with that is, hey, if it doesn't appraise, I'll cover the difference. So I will offer you this, and if it does not appraise, I will cover the difference. I'm seeing that in Escambia and Santa Rosa County, Florida, and I've definitely seen it over at the beach in Baldwin County, Alabama. I've seen that a lot over there. The other thing I'm seeing, and I want to talk to the buyers here for just 1 second, is that no one is accepting the contingency of selling your current house. Look, we want to buy your house, but we have to sell our other one first. That is a contingency that in a normal market could be negotiated, but in this market right now, that contingency is not being accepted. I have said this since I started shooting this show, and I've been doing real estate and finance since '93, so I've been saying the same thing. And what that saying is, real estate is two-pronged. It's price and terms. We've got to get a really good price in order to pick up a property right now, but we've also got to have stronger terms. I've had multiple sellers that it came down to the terms. I'd have 6, 7, 8 offers, all netting the seller the same thing. So if their net proceeds are the same thing, well, it's less about price and more about terms. So understand we're starting to see some of that right now. Some of your bigger markets, I'm seeing people out in California and people down in Miami. I even seen some agents in Tampa saying they've got buyers going $75,000 over list with an appraisal guarantee. So if it does not appraise, they will cover the difference. That starts to get into a dangerous territory as a buyer. All right, because it takes a minute for the value of the property to come up to what you paid for it. Now, if we are in dire straits and there's a reason behind it, sure. Most products, most techniques have their place in the marketplace. I just don't want to see that becoming more and more prominent because, that could hurt. That could hurt. That could wind up with some people underwater for a little bit. Now, when I say underwater, I don't mean their loan will be underwater, because the purpose of an appraisal is to value the property based on what the lender is going to lend toward. But when you look at the overall acquisition cost, or what it actually cost if you do an appraisal contingency there, then your outgo, your purchase price, could put you underwater specifically. I know it's a seller's market, but we've got to be smart on both sides. Some of the sellers love these because they're like, well, I'm cashing out and actually getting more than my property is worth. I'm seeing that. It's not as relevant here yet. And with some of the pendulum swings I'm starting to show you, that I'm about to show you here in our two counties, it's not, I don't think, going to be as prevalent as some of your bigger areas like Boston, New York, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, some of those, Vegas. I'm seeing that really, really prevalent in some of the groups that I'm in across the country. So just wanted to bring that up because that is something happening. Plus, I wanted to show you guys what we're seeing around here that concerns me slightly, just slightly. All right, let's take a look at our numbers for these two counties. Let's go. All right, if you've never seen the show, you don't know that I always start off with this slide right here. It says if we have between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory, we have a neutral market. Anything greater than 7 months has a buyer's market. Anything less is a seller's market. What the slide doesn't say, anything greater than 9 months, hyper buyer's market. Anything less than 3 months, hyper seller's market. We'll start off in Escambia County, and looks like we now have 3 price points down here, the higher end, that are out of the hyper sellers and more into just the sellers. If you've never seen the show and have no idea what I'm looking at, over here on the left is price points, list price points based on 50,000 increments until you get to the 700,000 plus. All right, so on these 50,000 increments, on the right is your month's inventory. That's why I go here and show you what that baseline is so you understand what I'm talking about. The big one's 100 to 250, still 0.3 months, 0.3 months. We do not have many properties. We do have more than we had last week. So in Escambia County, we have 329 properties. We have seen an uptick a little bit in some of these price points, but it's still ridiculously low. And you'll hear realtors complaining all the time. It's low inventory, low inventory, low inventory. It is. It's extremely low inventory. And I don't see any reason why that's going to not continue for a while. Our rates, mortgage rates, are actually scaring some people because we're back into the 3s now instead of the 2s. Those words even coming out of my mouth make me go, really? Because in 2006, people were very, very happy getting 6.5. But people now are upset they couldn't get 2s. They can only get 3s. They're still giving money away. So your demand is still really high. But looks like everything over 600,000 is a seller's market with that luxury 700,000 plus at 4.6 months worth of inventory. Over in Santa Rosa County, look at here. We actually have something that come out of the hyper sellers and is just a sellers. 650 to 700 is just a sellers based on demand. Now it's funny because I know I will be getting these emails going, hey, it's 3 months. Well, the definition says anything under 3 months. So right at 3 months, it's right on the border. Pretty much everything in Santa Rosa County is still a hyper sellers. If you look, there's only 185 active. There's literally only 185 active in that area completely. 0.3 months, 150 to 200,000. 0.2 months, 200 to 250. 0.3 months. It's just ridiculous. And here's your numbers of actives. So if somebody's looking, you get a pre-approval between 200 and 250, and you want me to send you Santa Rosa County, I got 12 properties, and that's it. That's all we can look at. And again, I try to point this out in the last couple of shows too. What the list to sale ratio is, 100%. 100%. Pretty much everybody's been getting either list or higher. And even getting the appraisal contingencies. So it's going even higher than what it'll appraise at. Now, VA can't do that. There are some loans that can't do that. So I don't say all this to frustrate buyers, but buyers right now are frustrated. There is a frustration both from the buyers and the buyers' agents out there that is just permeating through the market because every house they go into, it's 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 offers within the first 3 days, if it even waits that long. I have seen some stuff come on the market and then go pending in 10 minutes, which is not really supposed to happen based on our ethical codes, but it's happening. It's happening. So we got to pay attention to that. Anyways, that's our numbers this week. If you're looking at doing anything over the next 12 months, next 6 months, next 18 months, give me a call. I can't tell you how many people I've been talking to lately who have been saying, all right, look, this is the plan. An old client of mine had some damage from Sally, called me up, said, this is our plan. We're going to be rehabbing from Sally, so we're going to have to rent for almost 6 months to a year. Then we're going to put the property on the market because, I mean, this thing literally, like all the brick in the entire house has to be taken down. They had, I think a tornado actually touched it during Sally. All the windows going to be replaced. The roof, it's massive. It's basically going to have to be rebuilt almost. So they've got to move out for a while. So they're thinking about maybe selling it afterwards. So those conversations are happening. That's not something that we're going to do right now, but it's the conversation that we're happening. Hey, we need to do this in the next month, next 2 months, next 6 months, next 12 months. If you're looking at doing anything like that, reach out to me. Let's chat. Those are the numbers. Hopefully that helps you make some good decisions for you and yours. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?